Back with the film guy. Can't wait to dig in with our next guest and talk about so many different games over the weekend. Let's get going here, Brooks. Brooks Austin, the film guy, and start with that game in your backyard. The Dogs. What happened against Alabama? Good afternoon.
I mean, Paul, everybody knows good afternoon, but everybody knows the story. It was a gruesome day for Georgia on third down, a historically bad day for Georgia on third down. Now, they earned the right to face 19 opportunities to get Alabama up off the field, right? They were great on first and second down. They were great against the run. They were just terrible on third down, and it wasn't necessarily their problem or their fault, Paul. I thought Ty Simpson was diabolical on third down. His ability to identify where the defense was inevitably going to be compromised post-snap, pre-snap on the road with all of the noise was phenomenal. He operated at an exceptionally high rate, Paul. He was 9 for his first 9 on third down. As a team, they were 9 for 9 on third down. You combine that with Georgia going 3 and out to start the football game on 2 consecutive possessions, and then bang, you have completely zapped out all of the crowd noise in that place, and you've got the momentum, and they did the entire first half.
There's been so much made out of Kirby Smart's fourth down call, and it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. The game was not on the line at that moment in time, and there was a lot of time left. But what did you make out of what he decided to do?
Look, this is a process over results football program. He speaks it, he preaches it, he lives it, he breathes it. So if that's their process, if their process is on third and four to say on the headsets, if we get anything positive, we're right back on the ball. We're going to go with a short yardage play. If that's how they practice, then it is what it is. You can't really criticize the process. You can criticize the results. You can say, dang, I sure wish the right tackle would pick up his assignment and we walk right into it for a touchdown. You can say that, but you also have to live with the results of a busted play. And that's what happens when you play fast, right? I think Lane Kiffin said it on Kirk Herbstreit's podcast today. When you play fast and you get on the ball, yeah, we might surprise the defense, but we also might get a look that surprises us as an offensive line, and then bang, we got a walkthrough with LT Overton. So like you have to live and die with the results of that. My problem, if you want to go like with any specific play call, I didn't necessarily love the 3rd and 9 play call when they get the ball back. Later on in the football game, ended up taking a negative play and ended up in 4th and 11 and have to punt the football. That was more of the play call that I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 9?
Let's get to another game. LSU loses to Ole Miss. It was inexplicable. Coach Kelly told us yesterday he's angry. I don't exactly know what he was angry about other than himself. What did you see?
Look, everybody in college football, apart from Vanderbilt and Georgia so far this season, and maybe some triple option teams in Georgia Tech, right? Everybody's struggling to run the football, Paul. But the teams that are finding ways to spit runs, like they're going to sputter all day long. But as long as they have 1 or 2 explosive runs, they'll find a way to survive, right? LSU is a prime example of this. They found ways to spit runs against Clemson, and they won the football game. They found ways to spit runs at home against Florida, and they won the football game. They had no ability to run the football or protect their quarterback. The protecting of the quarterback, though, that's a 2-year theme for these guys. They have not been able to keep Garrett Nussmeier relatively upright, and they have not been able to create any type of run game for the last better part of a year and a half. So it's a major problem when you become one-dimensional in any conference, but it's a real problem when you become one-dimensional on the road in this conference. You're just not going to be able to keep your defense off the field. Ole Miss took over 86 snaps, I think, in that football game, majority of them coming in the first half. I think Coach Kelly talked about that here.
Let's move along. Tennessee and Mississippi State. Joey Aguilar came in large. Read and react to both schools, especially Mississippi State, on the progress that they have made.
Yeah, Paul, I don't mean to call anybody out, but did you watch the game? Like, I'm sure you did, but like, did you see the crowd there at Mississippi State? Like, first of all, Tennessee bought out basically half of the away stands, and the home stands weren't necessarily sold out. So like, yeah, there's cowbells there, but guys, Mississippi State's a good football team. Jeff Lebby's got this program on the up. They got ranked opponents coming into town, buying out half the seats And meanwhile, the football team that y'all aren't showing up for is giving everybody a fight. They're going to give everybody a fight year round because you're right, Paul. They've got the offense figured out. Last year, Chafin gets hurt midway through the early part of the schedule, and then they're throwing Tyler Van Buren out there trying to figure it out on the fly. Chafin was the guy that he wanted coming out of Baylor, and when he took the job at Mississippi State, and you're seeing the results of that offensively. Defensively, there is havoc creating and is havoc wreaking as they typically are at Mississippi State. They don't have necessarily the blue chippers, so they got to throw a bunch of stuff at you, and ultimately they kind of smack guys in the mouth. But what you're talking about, what I'm seeing right now with Aguilar, used to this Tennessee offense, passing offense operated way outside the numbers. Paul, they were a definition of a wide choice offense. And when we throw the ball outside the numbers majority of the time, if we have tips or overthrows, they're going out of bounds. But if we have tips and overthrows in the middle of the field, where Tennessee's really heavily working right now as they professionalize the offense, as they remove some of this wide choice repetitiveness, all right, that has cost them in big-time football games, well, more balls are getting missed in the middle of the field. So I think you're going to see interception numbers continue, all right, as long as he's missing in some of the middle area of the field throws.
We've looked back at a couple of games. Let's look ahead to the headliner in the SEC this week. Yes, I said that. Vanderbilt at Alabama. What do you make out of it?
Man, I love me some Diego Pavia, Paul. I love the way the football team has just adopted his personality over the last 2 years. They're all scrappy and competitive, man. I love the walk-on running back, number 41. Like every single ball carrier that they find a way to get the football to, they're tough, scrappy, and gritty. Like they do not go down with the first defender. And then you add on top of that, the offensive coordinator, Beck, is doing a great job getting guys open and having opportunities after the catch. The thing that surprised me most about Vandy in 2025 is that I knew they were going to be able to run the football because their quarterback's adding in. They do a lot of option stuff. They do a lot of read option things. They do a lot of things that stress defenders and defenses. But, Paul, this offense is chunking bombs. This offense is throwing the ball down the field consistently, like getting into empty on 1st and 10, spreading 5 wide and running verticals. With pace, too, like getting on the ball, hunting explosives. This is not the Vandy football team that, ground and pounded and, found ways to win in the margins last year. No, this is a Vandy offense that is going out there trying to slap you in the mouth every once in a while, not just, methodically move the ball down the field.
Great stuff. As always, the film guy never disappoints. Many thanks. Great to see you. Brooks, we'll see you very soon. We'll take a short break here. We still have Basil in the next hour to give us the latest on what's happening with Arkansas. Your phone calls are straight ahead.